Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. This week we will be visiting Istanbul, Turkey. First, we're starting off at the airport here in Tirana, Albania. I always use my priority pass and check out the lounges at the airports before I go. This is the perfect time to grab a snack and grab beverages to take with you on the plane. It's also a great environment to just sit back and relax. It's so beautiful. This is a great way to avoid the crowd in the airport before your flight. So if you don't have priority pass, go ahead and look into it. And after a quick hour-and-a-half flight, we've ended up in Istanbul. Now, I hacked the system. I took public transportation for a few stops, then I got off and hired a taxi. This method saved me half the price almost from going straight from the airport to my Airbnb. And one thing that I loved arriving into Istanbul, you see a bunch of people on the bridge fishing. This is every single morning. They're out there faithfully. I think that is so cool. I arrived to my Airbnb, which was in a great location. It was actually a cool setup. So they have it to where each room is like a studio apartment, and they're all numbered. They all have their own passcode on the door, and then there's a common area down below. So my room was on the first floor, so it was floor 0, then floor 1 above that, and it was very easy to find the Airbnb. My taxi driver was able to pull right up, so it was extremely easy to find, and it's a great location. Like I said, it was right on one of the main roads, so that was awesome. The only negatives to a setup like this, I had a guy the first night that I was there, his alarm kept going off for over an hour. I don't see how people hit snooze so much, but I had to find his room, go knock on the door for like 3 minutes straight and ask him to turn off his alarm because it was keeping me from falling asleep. But you know what? I didn't even go to sleep that first night anyway. I stayed up all night my first night in Istanbul. So the next day, as you guys will see, I was very, very exhausted, but I had to keep pushing because originally I was only there for 2 days. Once I dropped off my bags, I walked 2 minutes around the corner. I saw this beautiful wall and I decided to get something to eat at this amazing restaurant. They were so nice. It was completely empty in there. I was only one, and oh my gosh, the food was so good. This was a great introductory plate. I also walked up a hill. The Airbnb was right by the Galata Tower. And on the way there, I saw so many beautiful shops. They had everything you could possibly imagine. And I also went ahead and grabbed my souvenirs in advance because I always forget. So first, the Galata Tower. I finally saw it. And then I also went walking because it got dark really quick. And I saw this weird looking building. And everybody was laughing because they're like, you see what that looks like? So we all just had a little laugh off of that. I also found Umbrella Street just strolling around. I felt extremely safe walking around Istanbul at night, and I usually don't walk around at night at all, but since I had just arrived and everything was right next to my Airbnb, I felt safe enough to just go out and walk around, and I don't regret that at all. The next morning, I woke up bright and early before the sun came up, and I went and grabbed some breakfast with amazing views, as you can see. And this is the restaurant that's right by the tower. Perfect views if you're ever there and you want to just sit and look, people watch. And this infamous cheesecake, it was the best cheesecake I've ever had. Worth the hype. So I took a taxi over to the Balat area. The houses were colorful. They were so beautiful. There was so much art on the walls, graffiti. It was freaking beautiful. Before I went to my photo shoot, I found this place just looking around online, and I thought it was so cool. I've seen the flying dress photo shoots before in other countries, so I decided to give it a try, and it was actually really cool. I was so tired. The guy was asking why I wasn't smiling, but it came out good. And then I rode back over to my Airbnb area, and just walked around. I just wanted to walk around and see what everything was like, stop at some shops, grab a couple of drinks, and it was such a vibe. I ended up being obsessed with some chai latte. And I've had chai latte before and it was disgusting back in the US, but here it was so good. I have to find it and buy it for myself. I mainly had to walk around to keep myself awake because, like I said, I didn't sleep the night before at all, and I had my Turkish bath coming up. And honestly, guys, this experience was just one of a kind. I actually cried after this experience because I felt so relieved, like a weight was taken off my shoulders. So definitely try it out. You will also see a bunch of cats in this video. I was really amazed at how the locals treat the cats and the pets here. They will give them snacks. They will wait outside of businesses because that's like their home. That's where they go every day. And they're well fed here. You will see dogs walking around with doggy bags. It's so sweet. But I finally got me a little snack before hitting the crazy shopping district, Grand Bazaar. It is very overstimulating. I don't see how people do it. I just walked around and kept telling people, no thank you, no thank you, no thank you. I did stop and get some snacks though. Had to get some snacks. And being that I couldn't sleep the night before, I was online just looking up other things that I could do in the area, and I came across this dervish dance. I was very intrigued by looking up the history that I went ahead and booked. It was only $23 US, very affordable, and I'm honestly so glad that I experienced it. It was spiritual in a way that I cannot tell you. We weren't allowed to film inside, but I did pull up this video from online just to give you guys an idea of what it was like. The entire session was for an hour. These men spun around for, I would say, about 40 to 45 minutes nonstop throughout this hour session. I was amazed. I don't know how they did it, but it was so unique. I'm so glad that I went. I don't know where I will ever see that again in my life, but it was definitely worth the trip. So definitely go see that when you guys go to Istanbul. Now, that was the last thing I had planned for the day. I walked back to my Airbnb, and I was so tired and delusional at this point. I just started counting my money to see how much I had at that time. And I recorded this video for my husband just to be silly. But when you travel internationally, sometimes the currency exchange makes you feel rich. Not rich at all, but it just makes you. Day 3, we're up. We're ready to go. I had originally planned on catching the bus right here, but it never came, which was so strange to me. So I walked a little further and just continued to walk. I don't even know. At that point, I was just fed up with the public transportation. I'm horrible with navigating public transportation. I didn't grow up with it, and every time I go somewhere new, it's just different. So I continued to walk. I got lost on the bus, but I finally found my way to Taksim Square, which was really beautiful. There were a lot of birds out there. Someone was feeding the birds. And I just walked around for a while. I was quite excited to end up on this street. I kept seeing pictures and videos online of this little tram, this little train that comes through, and it's so beautiful. And I kept waiting around and I thought I missed it, but as soon as I walked outside of here, it was right there. Look at it. Oh my gosh, so freaking cute. I then decided to walk more. At this point, my feet were hurting, but who cares, because we see a lot of cute kitties. They're everywhere. After walking for a while, I realized that I was walking in the direction of the Galata port, so I decided to go there. The clock tower, beautiful, the views, breathtaking. I would have loved to have gotten on one of these boats or ferries, but I was crunching for time. Not really, but it felt like it. So I decided to keep on walking. The restaurants, there are a lot of restaurants, there are a lot of shops. I wasn't hungry at the time. I would have loved to stop and grab something to eat, but I'm not the type to just sit down and eat if I'm not hungry. So I saw this cool piece and I noticed up close that those were words. And I was like, oh my gosh, how cool is that? So I tried to just sit and make like a little Snapchat video, but I was just being awkward for no reason. Being that this was my last day in my Airbnb, I had to check out by 11. So I did all of this before 11 o'clock. I headed back to my Airbnb, grabbed my bag, and I caught the boat over to the Asian side of Istanbul. And if you ever decide to take this, make sure you bring bread. I did not bring bread, but there was a very nice gentleman sitting next to me. He had tons of bread and he was feeding the birds, and he handed me some, and it was so exciting because I just got to see them freak out. It was really funny, really cool. If you have kids, this will be perfect for them. As soon as we docked, I was starving, so I walked over to the Chicken Club. This is supposed to be the Turkish version of Raising Cane's from the US, and if you know, you know. I love Raising Cane's. I was not disappointed. Being honest, it opened up. It was only me and two other gentlemen in there. They made the food so fresh. Everything came out extremely hot. I had 4 different sauces. They give you gloves. I was so hungry, I just dove in. I didn't even remember to put my gloves on until I was like halfway through with my plate. But the first sauce is similar to the Raising Cane sauce, but is not as strong when it comes to the seasonings. Like, it's not as heavily seasoned. Very light. But they had another sauce that was like a sweet chili, I would say. That was my favorite one. And I'm a lover of barbecue sauce. They had a barbecue sauce one as well. I tore that up. But all in all, I highly recommend it. It was very good, very fresh. Then I realized I didn't have my glove on. I put my glove on just to eat some more fries, and I was done. I was so full. I couldn't even finish my meal. Went to my hotel, checked in, and I decided to get a massage. I was so worn out, but I was not ready to go to sleep. So I booked a massage. It was $2,500, but if you paid in cash, you got a discount. So I paid $2,200. And when I got back to my room, I had a snack tray and some extra water that they brought me. It was so nice. Called a taxi, went over to this beautiful mosque. Oh my gosh. I'm not usually one that's into a bunch of mosques, but this one, for some reason, caught my eye. It's actually supposed to be one of the newest mosques. I'll post the information about it on here. After I walked around for a bit and snapped a few pictures, I caught another taxi over to the water garden. You guys, I had no idea that this was also a shopping area with restaurants, so I tried Doner for the first time and it is mouth-watering. Why didn't y'all tell me it was so good? They have a water show every hour at the top of the hour. This is the best place to see the water show I found. It's a bookstore. It's a place where you can go and study. There are people there reading. So if you want, you can grab a book, grab a table, sit and wait for the water show to start. This is the view. This was actually one of the coolest water shows I've seen in a while. It lasts for approximately 6 minutes. Like I said, it started at the top of the hour, once an hour. This was the last thing that I did on my trip to Istanbul. I honestly fell in love with the city. It is known to be one of the largest touristic cities in the world, and I see why. It is just very welcoming. Everyone is so nice. The food is great. So much to do, so much to see. And that is a wrap. Don't forget to like and subscribe.